Moving on then, and let's shift focus to the buy now, sell now lens. And RBI has issued an advisory to the banks and the NBFCs banning them from investing in alternative investment fund, which have invested in debtor firms. Now, some of the stocks yesterday were in focus, and even today they are in focus too, wherein stocks like IIFL Finance and Piramal Enterprise were seen to be feeling the heat yesterday. But today, Piramal Enterprise has come out with a clarification that their exposure to AIFs, what does it mean and how are they looking to cover that? Let's get in more details, and let's go across to my colleague Gaurav, who is joining us right now. Take it away, Gaurav.
To address the possible evergreening transactions happening in the financial institutes, now RBI has banned banks and NBFCs investing in alternate investment funds. They have also asked banks and NBFCs to liquidate all the holdings within the next 30 days, and if they are unable to do so, they will have to give 100% of its provision on their books. Now, on back of this, there were some names coming up, and one of those names was Piramal Enterprises. Now, Piramal Enterprises has come up with their statement. They believe that their total investment value in the alternate investment funds is worth 3,817 crores, and out of which 3,164 crore rupees of investment is into AIFs, which has exposure to some kind of debtor companies in the Piramal Enterprises. Now, companies taking conservative view, and they are ready to take the entire 3,164 crores in their books in the way of provisioning or capital funding. Now, considering that this total amount is around 20% of the entire investments made by Piramal Enterprises, and they have total net worth of 28,710 crores. The impact, if let's say they are not able to liquidate this position within the next 30 days, the impact of the provisioning could be somewhere on the negative side, and they could see a downside of around 11% on their net worth as well as their CRAR ratio. If we talk about the stock value, the stock was down almost by 8% yesterday, and it is down almost by 2% today. So it will be really interesting to see how investors take this management's concerns and management's announcements, and see how the stock trades further.
All right, thank you so much for that, Gaurav, for actually telling us what exactly RBI has indicated in that sort of note or announcement that came 2 days ago. But let's actually bring on board our experts for today. We have Kunal Bothra as well as Shahina Mukadam joining us on the show. Very good morning to you, Shahina, as well as Kunal. Thank you so much for joining us on ET. Now, Shahina, firstly, for the benefit of our viewers, if you could help understand or explain what this sort of a circular coming in from RBI actually means for banks and also companies like Piramal Enterprises, which has come out with a clarification today.
Well, I think the RBI's mission is very clear. They want to keep these two segments separate. Investment and, the portfolio should be separate for both banks and NBFCs. One is investments and the second one being the loan book. So to that extent, I think it's a positive move. The impact is likely to be there both on banks and NBFCs, especially those who have such exposure. Like we have heard from Piramal, there is exposure, but they have got a month to actually decide whether they would like to create the provisions, and that would have an impact on their balance sheet and ratios, or then to liquidate some, which will actually have an effect on the books or on the AUMs of the AIFs. So I think both these segments are likely to be affected to some extent. Naturally, we will have to see, I think each of these companies, like for example, we also have heard of IIFL. So we have to hear from each of them as to what is their game plan going to be, how they are going to manage this. But yes, there is going to be an impact on both the raising of funds by AIFs and also some of the books of the banks and some of the NBFCs. So to that extent, it is a slight negative overall.
So a slight negative for these companies in focus, especially from the likes of IIFL Finance and Piramal Enterprise. But Kunal, because just yesterday we saw the whole market falling, and in that, both of these counters have fallen anywhere between 7 to 9%. As of now, what's your take on the technical front? Do you believe that more weakness is in the store for these companies?
Well, in fact, I would believe that this could actually be a very good buying opportunity for both of these names, Piramal Enterprise as well as IIFL Finance. In fact, for Piramal Enterprise specifically, even though the stock is reeling below its 200-day moving average, the good part is that many of the indicators in the last 1 or 2 weeks have started to trend up higher, and that's the first sign. So this is more like a divergence creeping in, where the indicators have started to trend up higher, and the are making fresh swing lows for itself. This indicates that this could probably be a last leg of sell-off for stock prices. So wouldn't be surprised that from current levels, say over the next maybe couple of months, you actually see these stocks, many of these stocks going into a strong recovery.
All right, that's the views coming in from both of our experts.